Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing fabulous. Welcome to another week. Do not take it for granted that you are alive and well. Count your blessings. No matter the situation, you are alive, you are well, and therefore there is hope for you. So right on, last week we talked about who is in your corner, right? So this week I want to talk about disloyalty, okay? Now, what is disloyalty? Disloyalty is the absence of being loyal. Okay, disloyalty is unfaithfulness. A disloyal person will do things to hurt you. A disloyal person does not care that what they are doing is gonna harm you or cause pain. Okay, now there are a few signs of disloyalty. Many a times we realize that our friend or whoever we're in a relationship with is disloyal after the fact, after the harm has been done, right? It's not our fault. It's a process. Disloyalty is a process. Sometimes the person who is being disloyal doesn't even know, doesn't even recognize that they're being disloyal until it gets to a certain point. So how do you know that someone is being disloyal? One, they have an independent spirit, right? So you would say, well, what is an independent spirit? Because now everybody professes to be independent, and I'm an independent woman, and that's not what I mean. Now, so you have a friend, you work with them, you used to go to work with them, right? Or you used to go to parties with them, or you used to go to church with them. After church, you guys go home together. You guys have conversations. You guys do things, certain things you do together. All of a sudden, the friend says, oh, you go ahead of me, I'll come later. Or, oh, yeah, I have to go early today. Or right after church, they grab their bag and they're gone. They're not waiting for you. Now, a one-off instance or, here and there, maybe they got stuff that they have to do, so you could go ahead. But when it becomes a habit, they're hanging out with people that all of you hang out with, but they're not telling you, even though you spoke to them. Let me tell you a story about how someone I called a friend, right? And we all have mutual friends. And a couple of our mutual friends had come down from, I was in Ghana then, and a couple of our mutual friends had come down for summer. And I had spoken to this friend of mine during the course of the day. And usually it would be us all hanging together, right? She didn't tell me, we were texting back and forth that evening, nothing, right? So my brother was sick in the hospital, and the hospital happens to be around a major road in Ghana with a stretch of restaurants and different places that you could go hang out. So I guess that's where they went. And my brother needed food. So I went out and I was walking on the street to just go to one of the restaurants to get him food. And I happened to meet them. They were driving, I was walking towards them, right? So we were going opposite ways. So I waved, and the guy who was driving honked. I waved, right? But why wouldn't you tell me? I spoke to you. Independent spirit. We all have the same group of people. We all hang out together. Why are you not telling me? And that wasn't the only instance. Different things had happened. But sometimes we're like, oh, it's nothing, get over it or whatever. Know the signs. If it's fishy, it's probably fish. Okay, don't just brush it off. Don't do it. The second example I want to give you is Judas. Remember how Judas gave out Jesus? How he betrayed Jesus, right? So he must have been an independent spirit. He must have had an independent spirit, because if he was with the pack of disciples, and Jesus at all times, then Judas wouldn't have gotten the chance to break out and speak to the high priests and the Sanhedrin. But he broke out from the group. He became independent for a certain amount of time and went and spoke to them. You're friends with independent spirits. Who are they talking to about you? Be careful. And it's not just your friends. Sometimes we as well are very disloyal and we do not notice it. Who are you talking to about your friends? Do you have an independent spirit? Know the signs. Know the signs. If you're becoming a Judas, know it. All right? The second one is offense. You have a friend who is always offended. Always offended. All of a sudden, anything you do offends them. You talk to this person, it offends them. You do this, it offends them. They're disloyal, or they're going to be disloyal. And now I'm back to, I want to take you to the Psalms, right? Psalm 55, verse 12 and on. David says, if an enemy were insulting me, I could endure it. If a foe were rising against me, I could hide. But it is you, a man like myself, my companion, my close friend, with whom I once enjoyed sweet fellowship. Look, when your enemy attacks you, you are not so, you are not so surprised. They're your enemy. That's what they're supposed to do. The surprise comes when it's your closest friend. When it's your closest friend. Judas gave Jesus up with a kiss. Who is kissing on you? Who is hugging you? Who is cheering you on, but turns around and says, oh, forget that one. Not everybody is for you. Not everybody is for you. Please hear me. This message could have saved me 10 years ago if I had the ears to hear. It could have saved me from so much trouble 10 years ago. It is my life story. And yes, I would tell it until somebody or anybody hears it. Until it affects somebody in a positive way. I am here for it. Please hear me. Not everybody who says yay, yay means yay. Sometimes your yay means nay behind your back. Have a lovely week and be careful who you allow into your life and who you trust. Mwah.